Hi everyone. My name is Nirdos Bandari and welcome to our group presentation of business law, subject code H82022, and which is located at Holmes Institute, located at Sydney. And as we have 5 members in our group, and this assignment is based upon two case studies, and in which part A is extracted from our textbook, chapter 12, page number 325 of our textbook, and part B is from chapter 16, page 435. So moving on forward, first part of case, which is of a Peter, whether Peter can enforce the convenient clause against Lee or not. So as we all know that every contractual party is obligated in law to comply with the contractual terms of a legally enforced contract that are made by them by complying with all the contractual elements. There are numerous kinds of terms that are made part of the contract. However, one term can normally be found part of like sales and purchase contracts is restraint convenience by Duncan 2012. A restraint convenience are the terms that are made part of the contract by both the parties to contract, and thirds are binding on the parties. So this restraint trade is normally found in employment contracts or sale of business contract, where the buying party or the employer wants to retain the seller or the employee to carry on the similar trade for certain duration, and is held in Right v. Gaswell in 1991. There we have mentioned there are various reasons why the authenticates the applicability of the restraint clauses, but we have mentioned only 5 of them, and which is going to be explained by my next friend, Puran Bahadur Karki.
Hi everyone, my name is Puran, student ID EMB 21936. Today I am going to speak on the main reason that are attributed which authenticate the applicability of the restraint clauses are as follows. The first point is about to protect the goodwill. If the employee or the seller of the business is allowed to carry on the similar business, then it may hamper the goodwill of the employee, or the buyer of the business as the employee might use the name of the business and however hamper the market value of business. And the next point is about to protect the legitimate interest. The employer want to safeguard his legitimate interest, which might get hampered of the employee is permitted to carry on the business. Third point is about to avoid unnecessary competition for a limited period of time. If a limited restraint is not imposed, then there are chances that the employee will hamper the business of the employer, as he is aware of all the in and out of the business. To avoid any kind of solicitation, the employees are fully aware of all the client database of the business, and there are full chances that the ex-employee or the seller of the business might use their contact and solicit the client or the database. Fifth point is about to protect the confidential information of the company, as it necessary that restraint clauses may be imposed. If the restraint clause is found to be accurate, then it is binding on the parties. Normally, a restraint clauses may comply with the above conditions are considered to be valid. However, a restraint clause may be imposed on the party to carry on the similar business. According to Brown 2016, he have described about for a limited period of time and about to a limited geographical area. The next point, the next subject is going to be speak by one of my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Puran. Hi, my name is Manish Bandari. My student ID is PVS 2008. So I'll be continuing the same topic. I'll be talking about the application. In this application, Lee and Peter, both the jewelry dealers, Lee sold her business to Peter, and both the parties were agreed that after the sale of the business, Lee cannot engage on same set of jewelry business within in Australia for another 2 years. Thus, the restraint covenant was made part of the contract by both Lee and Peter. It is submitted that the clause that was made part of the contract is considered to be valid and binding because the same is needed to protect the confidentiality of the business, since both Peter and Lee is part of the same business. Thus, there are some chances that Lee might try to take some database and secrets of the business. Also, If a similar business is carried out by Lee, then it might hamper the competition of the business and it might not be in the legitimate interest of the business. Thus, considering the facts, it is justified that the restraint clause by Peter is valid. However, after 1 year of selling the business, Lee established the retail selling business of imitation jewelry in Cairns. It is submitted that the restraints of 2 years is imposed on Lee by Peter as per Pearson versus HRX Holdings Private Limited. This kind of restraints is permissible. So I would like to talk about the conclusion of this part. So thus in this conclusion that the restraint clause is practically allowed and Lee must not carry similar business for another 2 years within in Australia, but Lee carried on the business after 1 year of the sale of the business. So Lee has violated the clause, particularly thus Peter can sue Lee for the act he has done. And by saying this, I would like to call one of my friends to continue on a second part. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Samrat Poon, Eastern ID PBS 2082. While talking about the case study, let's go to the second case study problem. The issue of the second case study is that whether the Richard can sue the owner of the chip shop under the Australian consumer law. And while talking about the Australian consumer law, it is framed that to provide the safeguard to the customers against any kind of customer violence. Every customer is purchasing goods under the value of $40,000. $40,000 has to be available. Implied the guarantee that are made part of the Australian consumer law against the manufacturers, provided the goods that are brought are for domestic or personal use. While talking about the Australian consumer law, there are 3 law sections under which this problem can be taken. As per the section 54 of Australian consumer law, that all the goods must be acceptable, qualified, safe and durable. And another is as per the section 55 of the Australian consumer law, is that all the purpose of buying good has to be fit with the purpose for which it is acquired. And another third consumer law is that according to section 56 that all the details that the owner give to the buyers about the goods and services has to be exactly meet all the criteria. And if any kind of violence is created, like if these 3 law doesn't match or any kind of disturbance comes, then the owner has to suffer from the 2 kind of Australian obligation that are major breach and minor breach. The major breach can be the major breach takes place when there is a very big crime, like the owner has to refund all the money and has to pay the compensation as well, and the minor breach takes place when for the making of the damages only, and this is a very small case.
My name is Sudan Kesi, Eastern ID PVS 2080. Going with the application, as per the fact, the Richard went to the fish shop. He asked for the 2 fresh lobsters for the dinner. The owner explained that she does not have the live lobsters but the boiled ones. The same are sold to the Richard. The lobsters were not fresh. After eating them, Richard fell sick. It is assumed that the value of the lobster is less than 40,000. Thus, the provision of the act is applicable on the transaction, that is exchange and Richard and chip shop as per the selection of 3 of the act. Under the section 54, 55 and 56 of the act of ACL, quality of the lobster was not so good. The lobster is not so fit for the consumption for the dinner, and the shop has made description that it does not have live lobster but the boiled ones. Despite of all this, Richard fell sick. So there is a clear violation of several implied guarantees, and thus Richard sued the chip shop. So the major failure incurred by the chip shop, so he can cancel the contract and seek refund of the money and the compensation from the shop. To conclude this, there are several implied guarantees that are violated by the chip shop, and the violations are considered to be major failures on the part of chip shop. Thus, Richard can sue the chip shop for the violation and can sue the shop for the compensation and the injuries that are sustained to him. Thank you for watching our video.